Hello and welcome to the 6th video in this beginner's guide to Adobe After Effects. In this tutorial, I'm going to introduce you to the key animation principles in After Effects. In a previous episode, I demonstrated how to bring media elements into After Effects and manage them in the project panel. Now, once you have media elements in your composition, it's time to start animating and adding effects. Now, to understand how to animate and add effects, you will first need to understand the animation principles and how they work in After Effects. In this video, we are going to learn the key animation principles and how they are applied. So let's get into it. So here I am in After Effects, and I have a project open here demonstrating the key animation principles in After Effects. In After Effects, there are 4 key principles: position, scale, rotation, and opacity. When it comes to animating in After Effects, you will most likely use one of these principles. In some instances, you may even use multiple animations on one media type. What you will come to learn as you use After Effects is as you build your video presentations and start to animate your media content and create transitions, they will all utilize these 4 principles in some way. So this is a composition I have put together to help you understand how animation works in After Effects and how it is applied. In After Effects, animation is applied to our media elements down in the timeline panel. So let's take a closer look. Now, if you want to follow along with this video, you can open this document I have prepared especially for you. This can be found in the Introduction folder in the Project folder, and you can download this project folder for a small fee. The download link with instructions is in the description. The download folder comes with lots of exercise documents we will be using on this course that have been carefully developed to aid your learning experience. The folder also comes with document resources such as videos, graphics, and images you can use to build your first video presentation from scratch later on in this course. To get the full learning experience, I recommend you get the project folder. Download link with instructions is in the description. So with the project folder open, click into the S1 Introduction folder, then into the 6th folder Animation Principles, and open the Animation Principles After Effects file, and you will have the same document I have open here. Okay, so right now I am in preview mode, so I'll press spacebar to stop this for now. Now, if we come into the timeline panel below, we can see the shape layers that are animating in the visual composition panel above. Now we can tell they are shape layers because of the icon next to them. In After Effects, a shape layer is represented as a star, and in this instance, the layer bar colors are set to purple. So first, I will click on the top layer bar, called Position. Notice when the layer is selected, the object is also selected in the composition panel above. So I'll come over to the left in the timeline panel by the file name, and I'll carefully click the triangle next to the colored square. This will drop down the properties for this layer. So initially, we can see Contents and Transform. This time, I'll carefully click on the drop-down triangle for Transform. And now we can see the animation properties for this layer. From the top, we have Anchor Point, Position, Scale, Rotation, and Opacity. Now, it's important to note that whatever media type you place into your composition, you will always have these transform options. This is where animation is applied to layers in After Effects. As a beginner, you will need to familiarize yourself with these transform options, as we will be working with these soon and often as we progress in this course. So notice that on this layer, we can see we have keyframes set for the position property. We can see the stopwatch over on the left is blue, and we can see some keyframes adjacent to this over in the timeline. Notice we have no other properties set here, only position. So next, I'll scroll down and select the scale layer. And here I'll do the same. I'll click the triangle to the left of the name to toggle the properties down. And again, I'll click to toggle transform down. So this time we can see that for this layer, we only have scale keyframes applied. So I'll do the same for the rotation layer. Again, just rotation keyframes applied. And lastly, on the opacity layer, again, just opacity keyframes applied. So for each shape layer here in the timeline, I have only applied one animation principle. So now I'll just click on the main triangles next to the name of each layer, and this will snap them all closed like so. So now we can just see the bars in the timeline panel. So I'll drag my time indicator to the far left to the start of the timeline and press spacebar. This will begin the preview and we can see how they animate. So this is how animation is done in After Effects. To recap, some key things to remember are the 4 key animation principles in After Effects are position, scale, rotation, and opacity. Animations in After Effects use one or all of the principles, and animation is set in the transform properties in the timeline panel. Okay, now if I click the top layer bar, hold Shift and click the bottom purple layer, upon click I will select them all. Notice they are also selected here in the composition panel above. Now with all the layers selected in my timeline panel, I'm going to simply press U on the keyboard. This keyboard shortcut will expand the layers out, but only reveal these shapes below. And if we look carefully, we can see they are adjacent to each animation property applied to each layer to the left in the timeline panel. Now these shapes are called keyframes, and these keyframes are what set the parameters for all effects over time. Before we move on, there are some more details you will need to know about keyframes. In the next video, we will be taking a closer look at keyframes, learning more about them, how they work, and how they are managed over time. So see you in the next video.